Uh, Hi everybody, my name is Bart and I'm a representative from Ireland, part of Joe Brennan's management team for the SIFE project. And I represent a college in Cork. Cork is in Southern Ireland. So some of you have been there and some of you will be coming in, is it October, Joe?
Management.
Yeah, management in October. So thanks, Joe, for that introduction. I suppose what Joe was referring to was the fact that in our college, Joe was talking about the overall, creating a sustainability policy. What we are trying to do in our campus in Cork is to, again, is to be as part of the project, is to devise sustainability policy, but also we have what Joe referred to as the Green Campus. We're applying for that at the moment. So this is our college. So we're a small college in Cork City, around 500 students, and we're part of the Cork ETB. So we're Further Education VT, and we have part of our sustainability policy is to apply for Green Campus. So Green Campus is a program that encourages partnership approach to environmental education. In Ireland, we have like a national trust. It's called Utashka, as Joe mentioned. I'm sure in all of your countries you have some form of national trust. Yeah. And the idea is it's an NGO, non-government organisation, and what it is, it's actually a charity. And I think it was founded in the 50s in Ireland, 1950s. And the idea is that they preserve or advocate. There's kind of two aspects on Tashka is they advocate for or build heritage and preserve that, and they also advocate for environmental concerns in Ireland. So if you want to build a marina or if you want to build a road, Antashka will do a review of the effects that will have on the environment and will advocate. And they have a legal standing as well. So that's very important in Ireland to have that organisation. And part of that is they have an education aspect. So the education aspect then is the Green Campus. So what they have is they have an award. So what we're doing is we're applying for that. And then as George said, then there's 7 steps then to apply for that Green Campus. So what I will do is I'll talk a little bit about the steps that we take within our college. So we're about maybe 2/3 of the way through to getting the award. We haven't got the award yet, so I'm just talking about the process, how we're doing that within our campus. So the 7 steps are the Green Campus Committee. So we've set up a Green Campus Committee within the college, within our campus. So we need to involve everybody. So we have everybody from the management, the principal, top line management, down to all the way down to our caretakers, cleaning staff, including students and teachers. Have you been on the? Yeah. And Nora will talk in a while. Nora is one of our students, and Nora will talk a little bit about being on that Green Campus Committee. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And so we have caretaking staff, cleaning staff, campus teachers, students, and we meet once a term. Would that be right, Nora? Yeah. And what we do is we discuss how we're progressing with our Green Campus, our strategy, problems. So we might say, okay, you need to take the bins out of the offices, and the cleaners say, might have an opinion on that, and the caretaking staff might have an opinion on that. So it's really important for us to develop our sustainability policy to include everybody. And it's down to the nitty-gritty of that, taking the bins out, if we're going to use printers anymore, stop, everything's going to go digital, so we have to discuss that in these meetings. It's really important. So what we have then is we conduct an environmental review. So what that means is we go around the college and we review what's happening on the site, on our campus, on the acreage. So we have our campus and then we have the acreage around that, which is it would be wild areas, and there might be campus pitches, sports pitches, etc., a gym, kind of park areas, recreation areas for students to hang out and stuff like that. So we just do a review of that. And we measure the waste. And we also, within the building, we measure our energy usage. our recycling strategy, we walk the site, and we engage with students. So during the meetings, the students that come to our committee meeting, we'll ask them, what do you think? What are your ideas? And they say, oh, well, we think there's lots of waste in this, or we need other areas of concern, and then we address that and discuss that. So it's really important, so it works well. Next, one of the students did, Ger was talking about trying to incorporate the learning, the student learning, into the curriculum. So one student went into our horticulture course. So we have 1-year courses, yes, and one of those courses is horticulture. And then one of the students did a review of, this is our area here of the college. So you can see here that we have, this is our campus area here with our buildings. And then what we have is we have greenhouses, glass houses. We have sports pitches here, and we are in the developing a walkway all the way around the campus. That's part of one of our initiatives. So what one of the students did was they did a review of that, and that was really important then, because what they did was it gave us an idea as to what the biodiversity was like within our college, and it marked out all the areas there, scrubland, places that need to be planted, etc. It was really important. Yeah, types of birds, etc. Insects that are around our college. It's really important. So we've got. Then we had to come up with an action plan, stage 3. So an action plan then would be to, what are we going to do about our waste? Recycling. Are we going digital? Are we going to stop the printers using paper? Just like all of your colleges. So one part of the action plan, which Nora will talk about as from a student's perspective, is we developed a walkway around the college. So all the way around the college, we developed a walkway. So that meant we had to kind of clear a space, be careful about biodiversity, be sensitive to the environment, but equally have an amenity so that students and staff and even people from the local community can come in, and what they can do is they can walk all the way around the college. So that meant clearing areas sensitively and then creating a walkway. So what's part of that, Nora might talk about from a student's point of view on how we developed that, and maybe the planting in particular. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah. Hi everybody,
Do you want to come in here?
I'm Nora. I'm
Thanks,
Thanks, Bart. Oh, thanks. I feel like Britney Spears now. Microphone and a clicker. Okay, so just for everybody to be aware, I am a student. I'm also one of the original mature students in our class.
Yes.
We have 2 horticulture courses, so we have like a level 5, which is first year, level 6, which is second year, and we also have a greenkeepers course, which Jack is here representing greenkeepers. So even though greenkeepers, ultimately all you care about is grass, and they do actually care for nature and also care for, I suppose, the space that we work in around the college. So there is, as Bart is pointing out there, I don't know if this clicker is going to work, but there's 2, there's a glass house here. We also have a glass house which is located about 2 kilometres from the college. So we do quite a lot of work there during the term year. It is down and dirty, it is hands in a lot of earth and a lot of shite, compost. Kean, the guy with the black hair, he's our compost expert, so if you have any questions on compost, talk to Kean. He's going to kill me later. So within the area around the glasshouse, we also have a nursery, so that was used in the past by the students. And as part of the nursery efforts, we're now using those trees and actually planting them out at the area just here, which is kind of the edge of the pitches, the sports pitches, so the sports facilities. So this was the start of the work. There's probably our teacher, Dan, who's going to be here tomorrow. So these are the actual pitches that are used by the soccer teams and the GA teams. But they actually cleared a full pathway along the perimeter of the, there's actually 3 pitches there, I think, so it's quite a large space, just for perspective. So we cleared a pathway. In our first week last September, we actually spent 5 days picking up sods of grass and actually laying out this area. That was interesting. I had never done that before in my life. So if you look at the lower picture, you can actually see the gravel, the stone that has been put down as the pathway. Again, it's important, we wanted to keep that kind of very natural looking, without being, very cosmetic. As part of the, I'm going to click you, as part of the biodiversity walkway, we, in February, March time, also planted a number of trees. So they were taken from the nursery on site, and then also we would have worked with a local tree nursery company, that amazing space. So we planted quite a number of trees. Sorry, this is us actually doing the sods. Women and men at work, mostly women. This is us in March. I have to say, the day that we picked, and I will actually, if Dan was here, I would say the day that Dan picked that we plant the trees was probably the coldest and the wettest in Ireland. And Ireland has pretty cold and wet days in February and March. This actually was the coldest. This is me. I'm actually wearing about 16 layers of clothes. Look like I've come down from the mountain. These are two other ladies in our class. You can actually see here we planted some Irish holly. So these are all native trees that we planted as well, again in keeping with the biodiversity of the space. There's a number of mountain ash, so the rowan trees are planted here. There is some Betula pindula, which is a silver birch. We also planted crab apple trees. This beautiful picture here of the crab apples. And actually what's really nice is when the space was being cleared, the trunks that are left out here, these are actually from the trees that were being chopped down when the space was being cleared. And they're actually now used as like a space for, if people are watching matches, they can actually sit down and relax in the space. And this is actually wood chip, also from the college compost heap. So again, it's very circular, everything is being reused and repurposed. And then everything, this is actually a panoramic shot of the space. And we also planted a number of wildflowers. So this picture was taken at the end of April, but actually if we had a picture from this time, there'd actually be a number of plants and wildflowers actually visible in the space. So that's it.
Brilliant. Thanks very much. Thanks, Maura. That's great. And it's actually really important to get the students involved in projects. So that's really important. And Dan will be here tomorrow, and Dan really does that with the students. So part of, just to continue on our action plan, obviously, we've discussed this in the other meetings, energy, water, etc. And so we have, obviously, part of our action plan for our Green Campus Award is our strategy on recycling, etc. So we have to, number 4 is monitoring and evaluation. So that goes down to somebody in the office monitoring how much we spend on waste, how much we spend on energy month by month, and that's really important for us. We're part of the Irish Garden Board survey in the campus, and that's part of evaluation as well. That's number 4. Number 5, links to learning on campus. So how do we link to learning? Well, we have a Green Week, so in our lecture theatre, we have, if there was a sustainability documentary or a documentary on climate. During Green Week, what we would do is we would broadcast that, and then students would come in and watch that as part of our Green Campus initiative. And for Green Week, we would have litter pickups. So we would organise, Dan would organise the students, call out on Facebook or Instagram, say, guys, can you help? We're going to do litter cleanup in the college. Again, involving students, getting to meet other courses. So we have about 30, 35 courses in our college, and often they don't mix. So sometimes an initiative like this is a social thing as well, gets people involved. It's really important. We have a resident beekeeper in the college, and he gives a little talk on bees. He actually brings in bees and shows the students the bees, gives a talk about producing honey and stuff. We don't produce honey on campus. It's not sustainable on the campus. But the teacher brings in and talks about it, and that's really important as well. And that connects the students to their environment, even just looking at the bees. So he would bring in the bees and lift up the cancer, and you can see them all act around, and people just go mad. They go, wow, they don't expect it, you know, to be that close to nature. And they might be in one of the little slots that he has, he's made especially, so he's got glass on either side of it, and what he does is you can go in and you can just literally see 500-600 bees just crawling around inside in one of the houses. It's really important, and it's really good.
So we don't actually have bee sanctuary
Yeah, we don't
on
have
our
a,
campus?
yeah, not on the campus.
There is one in one of the other campuses in the city.
Yeah,
And
yeah, there
anyway,
is
that
one.
gets a lot of attraction from the local community.
Yeah, there is one, yeah, in the ETB, yeah, absolutely. So what we have here is, number 6 is informing and involving the campus and the wider community. So what we do is, to involve the wider community, we have a plant sale. So the horticulture students get all the plants that they harvest, and what we do is we sell the plants to the general public in May. And what we do is we have a big plant sale, and the students are involved in the plant sale. And it's a really big day for the campus, for our college. And that involves the wider community, because the wider community come in, they see the college, they get to interact with the students, with the teachers, and it's very positive for us as a college. And they see what great work the horticulture students do really in the campus. It's really good. And also, as part of that, one of our ex-students works in a hospice in Cork, and what that student does is we take some of the plants that we don't sell, the extra ones that we have, and we give that to the student, and he plants those within the grounds in our local hospice. So that's another connection to the wider community, which is really important for us in the college. So that's it. And then we also, part of that dissemination of information about sustainability when we're applying for Green Campus is obviously Instagram or website, etc. like that, and any initiatives we have. So often if we were planting, and actually I think Dan was saying that when they were planting the trees, they put up on Instagram and Twitter, does anybody in the community want to come in and help? That's really important. That's a cool thing. So students from different courses, you might have a music student, you might have a computer student, you might have somebody from dance, they all get together, they help plants. They get to talk and they learn about the native species that we have in Ireland. That's a really important thing, so very good. And so then, number 7, finally, is a green charter. And it's kind of like a sustainability policy. It's not the exact same thing. And it's more, the green charter is more, who do you contact in the college? What do you have to do? It's the detail, the nitty-gritty. Whereas the sustainability policy would be a kind of a broader view on your goals. So what we hope to learn during this meeting is how to develop our Green Charter and our sustainability policy. And we hope to learn from all our colleagues in Europe. So, thank you very much. Okay.